to dunk on it.
You could tell.
Okay.
Well, if you're a hoops fan, one of the best things about summertime in New York is the good games of pickup basketball.
You know, the Big Apple is home to more than 700 courts, and some of them have not only become legendary, but they've birthed greats like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Dr. J, and Carmelo Anthony. Well, here to discuss their new documentary, Doing It in the Park, which is about the city's vibrant b-ball culture, is Bobbito Garcia, one of my idols, and Kevin Couliau. I love that last name.
Soon to be one of your favorite.
Soon to be.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, he's got to catch up with you. Bobbito, the reason I call you one of my idols is because you're a hip-hop legend and you're a Renaissance man. I mean, you're a DJ, you're a radio personality, you're a television personality, documentaries. I mean, you've done it all. And you're one of the founding members of one of the most important and seminal breakdancing crews. Seriously, rock steady. Hello.
Wow. Wow. Bow down, right?
Props to you for memorizing even half of that.
Well, that's just touching on the surface.
Right.
But okay, let's talk about the documentary.
Okay.
Why a documentary? Why a documentary about pickup basketball, and why now?
Well, you
Go.
mentioned. Play ball. So you mentioned I do have a catalog of work that precedes me. And I always felt like on the bucket list, a documentary would be kind of cool to achieve, particularly for pickup basketball, because it had never been really put forth on camera.
Right.
And there's been phenomenal documentaries about, you know, the high school star going into the pros, or, you know, hoop dreams. I mean,
Exactly.
So basically, Kevin and I met 10 years ago. He was an up-and-coming photographer, videographer out of France. And in 2010, we decided to embark on this mission to create an honest portrait of not just the community of basketball players here in New York, but the culture, to explain the language, the dress patterns, and we had a lot of fun making the film. Yeah.
Well, for those who don't know, what is pickup basketball exactly, and how does it differ from, say, any other form of the sport?
Pickup basketball is the form of basketball where you don't have any coaches, no
Is
referees.
that a French accent?
Yeah, it's a French accent, you know? Like,
Well, bonjour.
so yeah, you don't have coaches, you don't have referees, no organization, nobody that is coordinating all those games, and it's just the free side of basketball. Like nobody's getting paid to play pickup basketball, and this is the common denominator for Barack Obama or LeBron James or kids in China or even in the streets of New York City. And this is why we wanted to document that community.
Nice.
Wow. Well, you guys have done such great work here. We saw some of the clips earlier, but you really didn't have a lot of time to actually get this film together. I mean, you went to 180 different courts from all over the city, and you filmed all of that in just 75 days? How did you get it all done?
Well, we were on our super bicycles, you know,
right.
And we did everything by ourselves. It's a like DIY, do-it-yourself way, and
Guerrilla.
Yeah,
Guerrilla.
I flew to New York. I slept on his couch, bought a bicycle.
He
rode
was
like,
unemployed at the time.
Yeah,
Really?
and I had the equipment.
Yay to the French unemployment insurance.
We had the equipment in the backpacks, you know, boom pole and video camera and all that, and we just hit up the courts on our bicycles.
Well, how did you get some of the legends to participate then in the games? Because, you know, people like Pee Wee Kirkland was in there, the Earl, the Great Goat, you know, the GOAT was in there. How did you get them to sign on to the project, and how willing were they to do it?
Well, they did it all without even batting an eye. I mean, I've been fortunate in that I've been in entertainment for 25 years. So Pee Wee Kirkland and I have done Nike commercials together back in the 90s. Fly Williams and I have done events together. Dr. J and I have met, cross paths. We filmed him during a Converse commercial.
Really?
Kenny Smith and I were both reporters for the New York Knicks in 06, 07.
Okay.
So all of them, Kenny Anderson, NBA All-Star, they were like, they loved the topic, they love our body of work. And then everybody else that we interviewed was just, you know, we'd be in the park and there'd be one dude or one woman talking a lot of trash. We'd be like, they'd be good to get on camera. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we actually have a clip of some of your work. Can we take a look?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
I grew up playing playground basketball. You fought for the court, whether somebody lost and then you got on. You tried to stay on the duration of the day.
My generation at that time, we changed basketball. We changed basketball from pick and roll, give and go, to make it happen.
Win by all means necessary. You know what I mean? And that's what makes the playgrounds in New York so tough.
Wow.
Yeah. Powerful stuff,
Yeah,
right?
those are the who's who.
Do you want to play ball right now?
I do. I do. I got
ready to
I got
slam
a little
dunk.
killer crossover.
Okay. Oh.
I can dunk in my heels.
That's one of his nicknames. One of the nicknames that he earned while we were playing, making the film, was croissant.
Yeah.
That's
And
that's
French
a great
croissant.
nickname. Can you play?
Yeah, I can play.
And you can play, obviously.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Well, that's
All
what helped the
Can
production.
you play?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good at shooting, not dribbling though.
Wait,
Two
did
on
it
two.
help? How did it
Well,
help?
because we would show up to courts, and most of them, they recognized me from NBA Street Volume 2, video game, or whatever. But for the ones that didn't, you know, we played with the kids, and we played with the high school players, and we played with the older guys, and all of a sudden, it just created like a bond where when we brought the cameras out, they were like, yeah, go ahead, rock out. You know, no problems, yeah. Only area that gave us a problem was Brooklyn. Yeah.
Why Brooklyn?
We had
Of
to
course,
we had to
Brooklyn.
get the cosign from the local cat that ran the court, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Okay, you guys are okay. Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of rules that go into playing pickup basketball, and a lot of
Absolutely.
unwritten rules.
Yes.
And I read your GQ piece about that. Walk us
Oh.
through some of them,
Oh,
because
look
I
at
know
you,
I,
reading
yeah, I do my
GQ.
research. But you know, you apparently you can't look like you're too eager to get in the game. And if you dress up a little too much, then you just look like, you know,
Yeah.
you look whack. You
Yeah.
don't look like you're part. So walk us through some of the rules.
Well, I mean, basically, if you're really, really great, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. You can show up in Timberlands and cut-off jeans or, you know, long pants. They're going to pick you up. If they don't know you, though, you really have to, like, present yourself just as you would when you audition. You probably didn't audition, but maybe when Shannon auditioned for this role here, you came with a nice suit.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like,
See
you gotta
why I
look,
like him?
you gotta look the part.
Yeah.
You gotta
Right,
look the part.
definitely.
You gotta show up to the park, you know, like looking like you play ball, not like you just went to the store to buy clothes and you're really a wrestler.
Right. Very true.
And also, you can't talk too much trash because you could end up hurt that way, right?
Yeah, well,
In some parks, yeah.
In some parks, yeah.
Especially in Brooklyn.
Only in Brooklyn.
So are there rules to playing a nice game? You know, is it just everybody's respecting everybody? Because there's no referees.
Sure.
Is that why people like it so much? Because there are no rules or no referees, there's no stipulations. You just play and anybody can join.
You just play, and the playground, especially in New York City, is the meeting central point, you know, of the neighborhoods. Like people meet there, and it's an open space. And it's also true for kids all around the world. This is how we make the connection on the playground basketball court, you know. And we made friends from Japan, from Spain, from Greece, from all around the world in the streets of New York City playing basketball.
Well, this has been seen around the world. What's the reaction been to New York City b-ball culture?
Unbelievable. We've already screened it in 5 continents.
Wow.
Kevin and I are actually going to South Africa, Europe, Mexico, China, Philippines. All these screens will be presented by Nike. And you know, we have 12 subtitled versions available on our website for download and stream.
That's amazing.
So we actually have more sales at this point from overseas combined than in the U.S. But,
Really?
Yeah, but that's slowly changing because we got a New York Times review recently and Associated Press review, and so.
Now, why do you think people are so drawn to this? Is because they're just not familiar with it?
I think actually no. I think it's because they're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Pickup basketball is a common denominator, right? So
It's like soccer in many ways.
And
And-
people
yeah.
that watch our film, when they come to the screenings, they're like, "Oh, this reminds me of my childhood." Like I was
gotcha.
I was really nostalgic watching your film because this is what I did growing up, you know.
So
or
what
the
are
younger
the-
people, they get inspired,
Yeah.
and that's what we want to do. We want to advocate people to play pickup basketball.
So
That's
while
our
you're
ultimate goal.
touring, have you seen differences or similarities between New York City pickup basketball and the other countries or continents that you've traveled to?
Well,
I mean, yeah, me as a Frenchman, for example, I didn't grow up playing the games such as 21, Horse, or all those specialty games you have in New York. We grew up with the same code of language and dress code. Of course, the language is different, but we were using English words. But for example, we went to Tokyo last December, and ball players in Tokyo, they are really inspired by New York City. And the only thing is that they have that like ninja spirit where they don't express their emotions on the courts, and it's really interesting.
That would be an interesting game to watch with no emotions.
Yeah, I mean they're really proud, you know, and
Okay.
they're not showing when they're angry or happy. It's really interesting.
One of the other amazing things about a really good game of pickup basketball is that you get to see some death-defying feats that you don't get to see in the NBA.
well, actually, a lot of what exists in the NBA was developed and cultivated in the playground. that's where the imagination is allowed to be the most creative. And so LeBron, for example, when he's triple teamed and the play breaks down, what instinct does he go on to make that play? It's what developed in playing pickup. A coach can't teach that.
Yeah, you can't teach improv.
Right, exactly.
You've just got to go with it.
You just got to go with it, yeah.
So you guys have done so much. You got this documentary, you're touring, and your plate's full, but is there something else we can look forward to you in doing in the future?
I think...
That the world tour, I think, what we are doing right now, like showing the film around the world, and the film is currently available on doinitinthepark.com as a digital download, so...
Yeah. And we have T-shirts available, shorts.
I see that.
Yeah,
Doing it in the
posters.
park.
I mean, we're trying to really brand. We would like to do a book eventually down the road. So you know,
Just
based
growing
on the
this
photo.
franchise.
Yes, exactly.
What about your own tournament?
That's happening this summer, actually.
Really? She knows everything.
Yeah, you looked into.
How can people get involved with that?
The name of the tournament is Bobbito Garcia's Full Court 21 NYC. It will jump off in late June, but. You know, the main priority right now is the film. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about.
Gotta focus on the film.
I'm ready. I want to get in the game. I'll be like, what, son? What? Look at my handles. Look at my crossover, son. You know that. Wait, how do you trash talk in French?
Like, we're nice people. We don't try.
Oh, yes, you do.
Whatever. Come on, Kev.
Are you like, you don't have game, you have nothing?
Have you seen
Got that in jump shot?
have you seen Tony Parker trash talking during the NBA Finals?
No, I haven't actually.
37 points without trash talking. This is how we do it.
Tony Parker.
Okay, so which is more fun, American style trash talking, or when you guys are just playing nice and
I prefer American style.
There you go. Okay,
This is why I
like
documented it.
that. Okay, I like that.
Well, thank you guys for being
you.
here. We
No,
can't
thank
wait
you.
to see you later this summer.
Okay.
And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.
That was